Remember when Castiel kissed Meg and stopped to explain he learned that from a pizza man? And when the season 15 premiere tried to sell us apocalypse-level terror with ghosts literally running around outside like they were doing a 5K? Yeah, these are the most cringe moments in Supernatural. The FBI alias fail. That happens in real time. The fake agent routine is basically the show's signature move. Flash a badge, talk fast, leave before anyone runs the ID. It's charming, it's efficient, it's Dean Winchester's entire personality in one gesture. Which makes it so much funnier when Dean introduces himself by his actual name, realizes what he's done, and then immediately pulls out a badge that says he's someone completely different. Not a cover, not a misdirect, just a man who forgot he was committing fraud for a second. The cringe isn't the mistake itself, it's that the show wants you to believe these two are consummate professionals who've been running cons their whole lives. And then Dean does this. You can almost hear the director deciding to use the take anyway and hope nobody notices. We noticed, Dean. The broken arm. That picks a new side. Every scene. Jared broke his arm during season 2. The show worked it into the story, which is genuinely smart. The problem is continuity forgot which arm got broken. One scene, it's clearly on the left. The scene where a crew member's hands just appear. You can forgive a lot in a 15-season show. Weird effects, clunky dialogue, a plot line that clearly lost the map. But there is a scene where a crew member's hands are just visibly in frame, taking photos, just floating there, disembodied. And, for approximately 2 seconds, your brain tries to fit them into the lore. Is this a new creature? Is it a poltergeist who got really into photography? Did someone summon a guy from the AV club? Then you realize what happened, and the scene just collapses into pure, awkward silence. The most haunting thing in that episode wasn't the monster. It was the knowledge that someone watched that back and said, "Looks good, ship it." Ruby stops the scene to let you know she's great. Ruby's whole thing is that she's dangerous without needing to announce it. She's strategic, she's manipulative, she smiles while she's already won. So when she stops mid-scene to essentially give herself a little speech about how impressive she is, it lands like watching someone list their own personality traits on a first date. The cringe isn't that she's confident. Demons should be confident. It's that the show doesn't trust you to figure it out from watching her. So, instead of letting Ruby be intimidating, it has her explain that she's intimidating. That's not villainy. That's a LinkedIn summary. Supernatural is always at its best when it implies power through action. And this is the one moment Ruby forgets to do anything except describe herself. Fast-forward material every single time. Castiel learns romance from an adult film and reports back. Look, Castiel's whole deal is that he's a celestial being trying to understand humans through the most confusing possible lens. And that's genuinely funny. The bit where he watches an adult film and then kisses Meg and explains he learned that from the pizza man could have landed as awkward angel comedy. It does not land as awkward angel comedy. It lands as a meme the writers desperately wanted to create, delivered in a moment that could have actually been tender. Cass and Meg had a weird, surprisingly soft dynamic that the show mostly let breathe, and then this line trips over it and falls down the stairs. You end up embarrassed on behalf of everyone involved, including the fictional pizza man, who did not consent to becoming a celestial reference point. The Twilight episode that forgets to be funny. Supernatural loves genre parody, it does it well, and the idea of putting the show's grimy monster universe next to sparkly vampire romance is actually a solid engine. The execution is where it drives off the road. The episode swings so hard at Twilight fangirl culture that it stops being a genre joke and starts feeling personal. You can feel the writers trying to be in on the joke, and instead, they end up being the joke. The Pattinson password is there. The bedroom situation is there. And none of it is as clever as the episode thinks it is. It's the difference between affectionate parody and a show that's irritated at a cultural moment and decided to work it out on camera. You don't laugh. You just watch it quietly and think, this is not going well for anyone. If you're enjoying the breakdown, subscribing helps. And we've got plenty more supernatural deep dives coming, where we celebrate the genius and lovingly roast everything that went completely sideways. Haunted Wi-Fi, or The Router Did It. There are genuinely great episodes of Supernatural that modernize horror in smart ways. This is not one of them. The Haunted Wi-Fi episode wants to be a final destination style chain of deaths, where technology becomes the trap. What it actually is a premise that sounds like someone's dad trying to explain what young people are afraid of. The moment you ask the audience to be scared of possessed internet, you are asking them to do a lot of heavy lifting, salt and ironwork, because they're ancient and simple. But haunted broadband? That requires a specific kind of commitment the episode never earns. You spend the whole hour thinking, so the router's evil now? And then the episode ends, and you think about how someone in a writer's room said this out loud, and everyone nodded. That's the real horror. The anime, which exists. Supernatural works because of atmosphere, chemistry, and two specific actors making you feel every silence. The anime is a condensed remix of seasons 1 and 2 that swaps all of that for a different voice cast and a lot of screaming. Even if you're generous about the animation, which is fine, the show never figures out what it wants to be. It's too rushed to be a proper retelling, too familiar to feel new, and too committed to yelling at you to feel like the show you loved. It exists in this strange space between cash grab and passion project, where it somehow captures neither quality. The cringe isn't that it's animated. The cringe is that you can feel it trying to sell you the shape of Supernatural without any of the flavor, like a gas station version of your favorite meal. Dean's Amazonian daughter, handled with all the delicacy of a car crash. Supernatural is a show obsessed with fathers, sons, legacy, and what family actually means when you strip everything else away. So when Dean accidentally has a daughter through an Amazonian ritual, you'd think the show would either go devastatingly dark or devastatingly emotional. Instead, it goes goofy. Aggressively goofy. Like it got scared of the weight of its own premise and decided to run. Dean becomes a father for an episode, and then the story asks Sam to do something genuinely horrible in the middle of all the chaos, and the tonal whiplash is brutal. You've got huge emotional stakes being juggled like they're a bit. The potential was real. A serious version of this episode could have been gut-wrenching. Instead, it's the one fans describe by saying, yeah, that's the one where, and then trailing off because there's no good way to finish the sentence. Season 15. Ghosts who appear to be doing a 5K. The final season opens with spirits escaping from hell and flooding the world, which should feel like the apocalypse. And in theory, it does. In execution, there are ghosts running around in broad daylight, and they look Unfortunately, like people running around in broad daylight. The threat reads as a haunted fun run. You want scale and dread, and the sense that everything is collapsing. And instead, you get visuals that make you quietly close your eyes for a moment and hope the next shot is better. It's the final season, the finish line, the moment the show is supposed to look its most confident. And the opening stretch looks like the budget had a conversation with the ambition, and the budget won. Fans who stuck with 15 seasons deserved better opening credits than this. Bugs, the one everyone warns you about. If you've ever recommended Supernatural to someone and they come back to you 3 days later with a haunted look and say, "I watched the Bugs episode," you know exactly the feeling. It's bad effects. A racially insensitive burial ground premise handled with zero care, and a story that somehow manages to never generate a single moment of genuine tension, despite involving a biblical swarm. The only thing in that episode that was actually dangerous was the real bees that stung the crew during the attic scene, which is the most supernatural thing that has ever happened off camera. The cringe lives in the combination, the lazy premise, the rough visuals, and the strange confidence with which the episode delivers all of it. It's the speed bump people warn you about. Survive it. Better things are coming. Don't look directly at it. Bloodlines, the spin-off that crashed the party and refused to leave. There are cringe moments that last 2 seconds, and there is Bloodlines, which is a full 40 minutes of the show wearing a costume that doesn't fit and refusing to acknowledge that everyone can tell. It's a backdoor pilot for a monster mafia spin-off, which is a concept that could theoretically work. But the episode introduces 6 new leads simultaneously, as if speed is a substitute for investment. The tone is off. The focus is scattered. The whole thing feels like it belongs to a different show that you didn't choose to watch. Dean shows up, and the episode uses him the way a bad sequel uses a beloved character. Not as a participant, as a seal of approval. His presence doesn't save it. It just makes the contrast more visible. Bloodlines isn't cringe because it failed. It's cringe because you can feel exactly how much it wants to succeed. And watching something try that hard and land that flat is its own specific kind of pain. It's the episode that proves the most embarrassing thing Supernatural ever did wasn't a bad effect or a clunky line. It was spending an entire hour pretending to be something it fundamentally wasn't. And look, none of this cancels what the show got right. When Supernatural works, it really works. The brothers, the car, the music, the feeling that you'd follow these two people into any awful situation the universe invented. The cringe is just the tax you pay for 15 seasons of big swings. Some of them landed. Some of them are on this list. So what's your number one? The moment that makes you physically look away every single time. Drop it in the comments. And if you want more Supernatural deep dives that cover the brilliant and the chaotic in equal measure, subscribe, because we are absolutely not done yet.